Well, Juan Soto's going to the Mets on a 15-year, $765 million deal, and this is a terrible deal in my opinion. He's not worth that much. Bad defense, bad speed. He can't pitch like Ohtani can. He's maybe a top 5 player when he's like locked in, but other than that, I don't think he should be paid that much. More than Ohtani is kind of crazy. Anyhow, that's not what this video is about. This video is about what's the Yankees' backup plan now. And I'm not going to go off what MLB.com said. I'm going to go off what I think they should do, okay? So this is what this video is going to be. Now, as we don't have a first baseman anymore, Anthony Rizzo was the worst first baseman we could possibly have this year. The Yankees had a 76 WRC+, which ranked second worst in the majors. Anthony Rizzo was supposed to be our go-to guy, but he suffered injuries. His defense couldn't get back to where it was, and his offense was just awful. So these are who I could pick up. Christian Walker. He has won a Gold Glove 3 straight years in a row, has hit 20-plus home runs 3 years in a row, has had a good OPS plus last 3 years in a row, and I think he could be a good fit. We signed him for 3 years, maybe like $21 million a year, and if he could accept that, which he probably won't, we probably won't have to go 25. I think he'd be a great fit for our first base, and I think that he could really help this team out, be a strong clubhouse presence, and he could fit in behind Judge. Christian Walker always shows off his defensive side, and that has not decreased in any of the last couple of years, and I just think he'd be a great fit at first base. Now, I think Pete Alonso would also be a good fit for the first base role, as he has had a 30-plus homer season for most of his life, I just feel like this guy hits home runs all the time. Now, he would be more expensive than Christian Walker would, and it'd probably be a longer contract, which is why I don't see him being our main go-to guy, except if we wanted just a powerhouse for 2 or 3 years, and then 2 years he's kind of just like an overall okay player. Now, I definitely think we'd have to go over $30 million for him to get him, and I do not think the Yankees should do that at all, as we are already very close to the tax threshold, but hey, the Yankees' money is the Yankees' money. Another choice that the Yankees have is Cody Bellinger. Now, he's not a free agent, so we'd have to trade for him, and after the end of his contract, we'd have to sign him for a lot more than we'd have to sign probably Pete Alonso or Christian Walker, but if we were trying to do what we did with Soto, he wouldn't be all bad, except we'd have to give up some prospects and probably a main hold guy in our rotation like Clark Schmidt or something like along the lines of that, like we did with Michael King last year. Now, this guy has great power, and even though he probably wouldn't be traded by himself, we'd probably trade for Nico Hoerner. I think that also helped. Now, I'll get into why I think Nico Hoerner is good, but that'll be later. Now, you may be thinking, do they really need starting pitching? Yes. So we have Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, and they're consistent. Luis Gil run Rookie of the Year, so he'll be good. But then we have some holes to fill. Clark Schmidt was good, but he did struggle with injuries, and he wasn't always at his best. He's not a guy you can rely on to get strikeouts in big situations. Nestor Cortez gave up the Grand Slam, and so I have zero trust for him. And Marcus Stroman had arguably the worst year of his career last year. So all this said, I think they need to get moved to the bullpen, and we can sign some of these guys. One being Walker Buehler, who wouldn't be too pricey to buy, as he had an overall down year last year, but did recover in the postseason and ended up saving the World Series. I think he would be a good fit. He's on the younger side. He's 30 years old. We could sign him for 3 or 4 years. Not probably a huge contract, probably $84 million a year, $21 million per year. And I think there's a chance he'd accept that, especially knowing that he'd be going to the Yankees, because the Dodgers don't need any more starting pitching, so they're probably not going to sign him. Honestly, I don't think they'll keep him with $21 million. I think they'll probably need to go like 27.5, but with that, I think they'd sign him. Corbin Burns is another guy who they could sign. He was an ace for Milwaukee. Now he was an ace for Orioles, and I think he could be the second in line right behind Garrett Cole. Now, he would probably be very expensive, probably in the range of Cole and Judge, so he's not affordable long-term for us, probably. And he probably doesn't want a long-term deal, as he thinks. My guess is he probably thinks he can win like a Cy Young and then go and get a bigger contract. So I think the Yankees could get him for a couple years. Now, we could sign Max Fried as well, as he has been a consistent starter for the Atlanta Braves for the last couple of seasons. I think it's going to be a bidding war between the Red Sox and Yankees for who gets Fried. I think he's the most likely option out of the 3 people I listed. And I do think he could end up being pretty pricey, but we will see, I guess, right? I'm only going to list one guy here, and I think the Yankees need to sign this guy. Teoscar Hernandez, a powered threat who could sit right behind Judge at the number 4 hole, and he could be a absolute menace to everyone he faces. I think he'd be a great fit for Yankees, and I don't think I should list anybody else because we could bring up Jason Dominguez and put him in left or right, but I think we just need to train him on defense more. I say we could also move Bellinger over if we got him, and we could move Spencer Jones to first base, call him up as well, put him in outfield. I think this is probably the most ludicrous thing I'm going to say, and I think if it could happen, it should, but I don't think it will. Now, I'm going to start off with this by saying Nico Horner. We put him at second base. We put Volpe at short. We get Bellinger with him on a deal. And we put Bellinger at first. Then we keep Chisholm at third. And I think that's a locked down infield. I mean, this guy's got insane defense. He can hit when he wants to. He has an okay average. I think he averaged like 250 to 275. I'm not really sure on that. But I think if we traded for him, like we traded Spencer Jones away, I think it's a possibility that this could be a amazing infield. Though I don't think they will trade him away, so we'll have to find someone else to trade. I really hope we don't sign this cheater, but he would probably be good on the Yankees, let's be honest. Alex Bregman. He has been a solid player over his career. Never really struggled until last year, but the entire Astros team struggled until they locked in at the end of the year. So I do think he'd be able to find his way at Yankee Stadium. He has a smooth swing. I would really like his swing. As much as I hate the guy, I do think we could sign him for 4 years. Probably 100 and, no, I'd be a stretch. No, 120 million a year, or not a year, per 4 years, 120 million. I think he would be able to do that, and I think we could have him at third base, and that'd work. And yeah, that's what I think the Yankees should do. And I know this isn't the greatest video. I didn't explain everything perfectly, but you can't hate me. I'm only 16, guys. Come on. I'm just doing what I think the Yankees should do, and I think the Yankees should take my advice. I think they should subscribe to my channel like you should. Like the video, turn on notifications, do all that jazz. And anywho, I think losing Soto was actually a good thing for the Yankees because it gives us the opportunity to sign a multitude of players rather than to get one player, and we'll probably save money too. So I think this is a good deal on our part for us, and I think we should be very grateful. And I think that the future could be bright for the Yankees. I think it could. Anyways, that's it for the rest of the video. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day.